Welcome to the Pause and Proceed podcast. I'm your girl, Bridgett LaRé.
And I'm SB.
What's good, SB?
What's good with you? Because you tired over there.
Who says I'm tired? How you going to project your feelings onto me?
Wait a minute. She's trying to act brand new Solomon. Should I bring Solomon into it?
Bring Solomon into
60
it.
seconds ago, guys.
Yeah.
She was... See, right.
She was looking a little tired over there. But now we want to pep you up. Come on, let's get some going.
Come
Let's get
on.
some cheers
What?
in here. Let's get some of this.
No, let me tell y'all something. That's the thing about... Okay. Let's do it. But see, that's the thing about being a cheery person. Like when you just calm, cool, and collect, everybody like, what's wrong? Are you okay? It's like, okay, we all have different sides of us.
We
But
do,
I'm-
Bridget.
I'm tired. Okay.
And it's okay, but we about to pep you up because we doing a podcast.
Listen, I feel like getting up this morning. I caught the bus to Vegas over the weekend. The bus broke down on the side of the highway.
You had a journey.
I had a whole journey.
You had a whole journey.
And I got back last night, right? And see, I didn't think about this. So I got back last night and the bus just dropped us off at a lot downtown by Union Station. So I'm like, it's 11:30 at night. I'm just downtown with strangers by myself. I'm looking around like, oh, it's some funny
It's
people
questionable.
downtown. Some questionable people.
Yeah.
So I'm like, girl, you did not think about this. So I'm hurrying up, I was asleep first. The bus driver had to wake me up. Like, we downtown LA, get up. I'm like, oh, shoot. If I would have thought about it, I would have ordered my Uber, while we was there, right? And so we downtown, I'm looking around, like ordering the Uber. The Uber driver like, I don't see you. I can't find it. I'm like, if you don't find me, I'm on the corner of Cesar Chavez and Vines.
Yeah.
And he left me. So I had to sit there and order another Uber. This man sitting beside me, acting like he talking on a walkie-talkie, like he the police. He, like rubbing a toy doll. And I'm like, if somebody don't come pick me up, so I'm like, at this time it's about midnight. I'm like, who can I call?
Why did you call me? I
Because
probably
I-
was asleep,
Yeah,
but
you probably
still.
knocked out. But
Oh Lord, I
that's
already
that
know what
whole
she about to
lioness
say.
in me, like just handling things on my own. Like, I got this.
You could have called me too.
Aww,
If you need to, I'll
you
come
so
get you.
sweet.
Oh,
But
I'm
see, the
gonna remember
thing
that,
is-
Solomon.
I'm gonna call your wife. Gonna be like, who is that? Bridget, who?
Bridget for the podcast place.
Yeah.
Produce a podcast.
She's stuck downtown. She's like, you better go to bed.
Right. I mean,
But yeah, it was a very eventful trip.
absolutely. But yeah, I don't understand, and I'm not gonna talk about this too long because I'll get into it. It's 11:30 on a Saturday night downtown. It should have been plenty Uber, Lyfts. It
Yeah.
should have been a question. Did you have to take a long, like for your next ride? Did it take a long time?
Thankfully, no. So I messaged the guy, like, listen,
Okay,
this is where I'm
good.
at. I'm on the corner of such and such. I said, don't leave me. The other Uber driver left me. I'm here by myself.
Oh,
But see, I'm not gonna go there on this podcast today. But
give me a taste of what you don't want to go into.
see, because then this whole strong black woman thing gonna come out again.
What?
Okay, so because I was taking a bus, I knew I needed to, protect myself.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know. I'm like, I'm about to be on the bus with some strangers. So I decided to take the bus, y'all, because I wanted to just read and relax. And I didn't want to drive because I have an electric vehicle. I would have to stop and charge up. I didn't want to fly. I didn't want the hassle of that. And I have this training coming up next weekend. So I'm like, okay, I can just study while I'm on the bus. But I'm like, I don't know who's going to be on this bus. It's public. So I was like, you know what, B? Make sure you protect it. So let me tell y'all, okay, so then on the way there, somebody steals my phone charger as we was stuck on the side of the road. Somebody steal my phone charger while I'm off the bus. And so when I get on the bus, I'm like, hey, who stole my phone charger? And it was some hood black girls. I'm like, oh, hell nah. Somebody stole my phone charger. It'll be on like this, and that. So I'm like, nah, I can't get mad right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't get mad. Because you can't just be mad when
in that environment.
you can't be mad when you strapped.
No, you
So
can't.
I'm like, no.
You
I was like, calm down. I'm
can't.
telling him it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I don't, it's just a phone charger. It's
Being
$20.
a hype man, being a group of hype men.
Yeah. So like she give me hype for real. Like she
Co-signing,
like, oh hell no,
right.
who got the charger? Who got the charger? I'm like,
Oh
no, calm
my
down. It's like, it's just a
gosh.
charger. So, but
So
anyhow,
no
y'all,
one to confess?
nobody confessed. But let me tell y'all, this is the show. We're gonna talk about gratitude, not being strapped and stuff. But I do recommend. I do recommend, like, having owning,
Protection.
protecting yourself. It's a right for a reason. So,
That's true.
protect yourself, get your CCW, and
Especially here in California. It's a process. Some places it's
yeah,
not much of a process, but here,
yeah,
yes. Yeah.
everywhere, wherever you at, especially if you're a single woman, like it doesn't mean that it's gonna protect you. It doesn't mean that ain't nobody gonna mess with you. It doesn't mean that still stuff won't happen, but you feel a little bit more secure
Yeah,
with it. You feel
absolutely.
me?
Yeah, I agree with
Because
that.
at midnight downtown LA,
It's
it was
fishy.
like,
It's fishy during the day.
yeah,
So I only can imagine. Well, I already know how it is down
yeah,
there. So, but I don't want you to feel like, because we had this conversation
uh
before
huh.
about, I mean, I'm happy all the time. And people don't realize that sometimes I just have a down day.
Yeah.
We
Sometimes I just want to
understand that,
chill.
but we had to mess with you because you did come in here like Eeyore a little bit.
Not Eeyore.
Yeah, like just a tad bit of Eeyore. So I
I'm
respect
sleepy.
when you sleepy and you down. That's fine.
But I got up because I'm
You
committed.
did, and you came back because I don't think you was gonna come back today.
Yeah, I was gonna stay in Vegas for a little while longer, but SB like, when we gonna shoot the podcast? And it's just it's a hassle trying to get from LA to Long Beach during a week. So here we are.
Well, thanks for being committed.
You're welcome.
I
Thank you
appreciate
for
your
being committed too.
No problem.
Yeah.
So, like, would you say how was the trip? Like, are you grateful for the experience,
Oh
or
yeah.
like, yeah, how was the
Yeah, good
trip
question. So
overall?
after an hour and a half into driving, every time I
Mhm.
come here, my sinus is drained. I get all like drainy. What's going on in this air, Solomon?
You blaming me for your nose?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
I'm telling you, every time I
is.
come here, like, okay, so
He needs so you.
SB,
Yes,
how's your nose, baby?
I'm all right.
Oh, okay. My nose is fine too, by the way.
you know what?
I think she's hinting that you need an air purifier.
He needs an air purifier or something up in here. When's your birthday? September?
September 30.
Dang, that's a long time. You may get an early birthday gift for me.
All
Okay.
right.
Don't
Okay.
record that because I don't like making promises I may not keep.
It's already recorded.
Sorry,
It's
I don't hit
done.
the pause button. We recording.
Pause. Okay, now let's proceed.
Let's proceed. But yeah, how was the trip? Like, is there anything that you was very grateful for during the trip, or what came out of the trip? Like, tell us about it.
Tell us about. Okay, so I was going to Vegas. One of my best friend's mom was having a 60th birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm showing up here because this friend is always there for me. What up, Reese? Oh, give my friend the it's for
got
you, Reese. So on the way there,
Mhm.
an hour and a half into the drive, I'm chilling and I got my book, I'm reading. I'm like, yes, this is what I wanted. Beautiful scenery. We got the snow-capped mountains.
Oh,
And then the bus driver just
yes.
pulled over out of nowhere. So I'm in the second seat right behind him. And he just pulled over and get out on the side of the highway. So we all like, I'm like, hey, what's going on? He says nothing. And so then one of the hood girl, she come off from the back and go outside like, what's happening? Yeah, like, talk to me.
Mhm.
He waved her in like, go. She
Oh,
like,
Lord.
he just gonna wave me in like, oh hell no, you better tell me what's going on. So at this point, the bus starts smoking. It
Oh.
starts smoking from the back. What you gotta say, Solomon?
Oh.
I was just
So y'all,
first I thought you were gonna say he was gonna say, I gotta take my mandated break or something like that.
that would have been messed up.
Yeah.
That
It
would have been messed up.
It really would have been.
Yeah. So no, the bus started smoking. And so at this point, everybody getting off the bus. Like
Mhm.
we had to climb over the rail, the guardrail, because he pulled over to the side and the bus stood up high. We had to climb over the guardrail to get to like the side of the highway.
Yeah.
And we like, what's going on? He like, nothing. He acting like he don't speak English. He was like Asian. So he wasn't even talking to us in English at all. He wasn't saying nothing. He just getting the stuff and trying to, it's literally oil or transmission fluid or something just poured out all on the street, on the highway. We like, oh my God. And so I'm telling everybody, they like, they getting rowdy. I'm like, hey guys, we don't know what God is keeping us away from. We could have gotten to an accident up the road or something.
Right.
We don't know. I'm like, look at the scenery. Isn't it so beautiful? Like, I'm just like, let's, find
Yeah.
gratitude in
Yeah.
this. So then we had some people from Korea, New Zealand,
All right.
LA, just people from everywhere. So we
Mhm.
all just got to know each other. You know me, I'm crazy. I'm interviewing people like, what's up?
I
What can you
know.
find grateful about this situation?
I saw the IGs.
You seen the IGs?
Yeah, I saw the
Check
IGs.
out my Instagram, y'all. It's like Bridgett LaRé. Solomon gonna put it up there right here. No? Oh, you're such a good
There it is.
engineer. Thank you, Solomon.
Oop, there it is.
So yeah, I filmed like interviews with people and just talking
Mhm.
about it. Some people from Korea, they just graduated. It was their first time here. They just graduated from university, and they was like, "Oh, I'm just so grateful. Look at the scenery. It's beautiful." Yeah. So we all
Aw.
found gratitude, and then we was like 2.5 hours back.
Was it cold?
No, it wasn't cold. It wasn't. It was in the daytime. It was about 10:30, 10:45. 'Cause the bus left at 9 in the morning. So it was just beautiful. And then
That's good.
California Highway Patrol came. We joking around with him, and it was just it was grateful. Like, and then the whole time, once we got another bus, we went from the raggedy Flix bus. Flix bus, y'all got to do better. Y'all need to check y'all buses out before you send people on those buses. Okay.
That was my question because I was like, did you go via Greyhound? That said
That's what I
Greyhound
was
is
gonna
even
ask
better
too,
though.
but
Yeah.
But
But I think
Greyhound's not even.
I think
don't know.
Flix bought out Greyhound, so they the same company.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do your own research, because that's what I heard.
we'll say whatever we want on this podcast, but do your own research.
Yeah, right. There you go. Just that
Don't fact check us. Do
disclaimer.
your own
Don't fact
research.
check
There you
us.
go. Disclaimer.
But then a Four Seasons bus came, but I think they all still, run the same
Right.
transportation or
Okay.
whatever. Yeah, but it was nice. But then everybody started, 'cause since we were all acquainted now,
Yeah.
everybody talked the whole way, so I wasn't even able to study on my way there. I'm like, I like when we was quiet
That's because
and still.
you're like, settle down, everyone. Everything's A-okay. We're
Yeah.
gonna make the best. See, you did
Yeah.
it. So you brought everybody together. So
Yeah.
now it's a party when we about to get back on the bus. We going to Vegas
yeah.
anyway.
Yeah,
You know what I
Certain
mean?
we going to
consequences.
Vegas. We gonna get there. But keep in mind,
Uh-huh.
I couldn't be. Listen, I have to keep everything cool, calm, and collected. I don't want to be mad.
No, I understand.
You feel me?
No, that was great
Yeah.
that you did that, but you weren't about to get any work done after that.
I didn't get no work done. Now everybody
Mm-mm.
talking, we chilling, and
Listen.
well, now it's a whole party. We done stopped at the rest stop. We done got some Casamigos.
That's
We
what's
turning up.
right. She gonna send me a picture of her Casamigos and that lemon. What is it?
Yeah.
Lemon
The
spray.
lemonade Sprite.
By the way, guys,
Yeah.
that combination though,
Yeah.
the lemon Sprite and the Casamigos or tequila, try that. I'm telling you, get
Yeah.
it. That's our fave now, for real.
Hey,
Continue.
we're gonna have to get some
Proceed.
type of sponsorship from Casamigos and Lemonade Sprite.
All right, come on, sponsorships.
Come on, sponsorship.
Come on, sponsorships.
Yeah. So that was my crazy weekend.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
glad that it actually ended up being joyful,
It
even
was.
with like the hiccup, because some people will allow things like that, like a breakdown. You're on your way to Vegas, and who wants to be
Yeah.
broke down on the side of the road?
Right.
A lot of people will let that energy just turn into a chaotic energy.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, and
No, you
just
gotta
ruin
find
your own
gratitude.
trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, and ruin your own trip. So,
Mhm.
all right, come on to the flip.
To the flip.
To the flip. Gratitude's important.
Oh, I was about to say, who they want? Flip, flip,
Who
flip.
is that?
You
Lil
don't-
Flip.
Yeah.
Man,
Oh.
that's an Ohio thing.
What? You knew who he was?
I don't know his music.
You knew who he was though.
Yes.
Okay.
But you did the dance and everything. Like
I think
in a
that's the dance.
song.
Who they want? Flip, flip, flip. No?
No, we're gonna have to find that
okay.
after the podcast because I'm very curious
Lil
about
Flip.
it.
I remember I lived in Dallas. I turned up with Flip. This is back in my days when I was turning up.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to go to like these strip clubs, and my boyfriend at the time. He loved going to strip clubs. He would just give me a whole bunch of money,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm giving these money to these girls. I'll put like half in my bra, and then I turn up with the other half. And so I'm throwing the money. I look to the side and it's Flip. He like, girl, what you out here doing? I'm like, oh shoot, I'm turning up in the strip club with Little Flip.
With Lil Flip. Yeah, we're gonna have to revisit Lil Flip's catalog.
Yeah, he was hard. He's hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's good to know.
So pause. What you got to
Mhm.
say, Solomon?
I was gonna say we found some pictures of your little Instagram trip.
Let me see.
Oh yeah, come on, Solomon.
Oh, that is yes. So that's Lisa. She's from New Zealand. That her Instagram,
Aw.
Marie _honey. So yeah, she was not about to get back on that bus. She told the officer, she's like, is it something you can do? I don't want to get on this bus. She has a beautiful accent. And then I told her, I
Aw.
said, hey Lisa, just calm down, have faith. God gonna take care of us. She was like, are you sure? And then I said, yeah. I said, yes, I'm sure. I said it all confidently.
Right, like you God's
Yeah,
assistant.
yeah, like
Right.
I'm God's people, right?
Well,
And
you
those are the
are.
two young ladies from Korea. Good
Okay.
job, Solomon. Good
Oh,
You
job.
out here interviewing
yeah.
people. Look at
Yeah, I'm
you.
just out here interviewing people.
I love
Like,
it. And they seem so happy.
yeah, they were happy. She said, "This is how do you say? This is something I would never forget."
Oh, I love
Yeah,
that.
and
Come
they
on, bringing the people
bringing
together.
the people together.
Bridging the people together.
The bridge
The
method.
bridge method.
Yeah,
Come on.
and I thought it was cute because she was like, "Well, what does gratitude mean?" And I was like, "Oh, that was so cute." So I had to explain gratitude to the best of my ability. I'm like, "Well, damn, what does gratitude mean?"
What does gratitude mean,
So
pal?
I was, dang, why I had to say that? So I was like,
Come on.
I was like,
Segue.
just finding something that you can be joyful about in every situation, in every moment,
Yeah.
regardless of the circumstances.
Yeah.
And so I was telling them about to enjoy yourself no matter what you're doing, because if you break the word down, enjoy, like enjoy, joy is inside of you.
Yes.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? So enjoy, always enjoy, because can't nobody take that away. It doesn't matter what the circumstances is, just enjoy yourself.
You know
Be
what?
joyful.
That is so true because that joy, I didn't realize it was a difference between necessarily being joyful and happy. And I had to correct my language
Mhm.
because I forgot who, I feel like a minister or a pastor may have corrected me a long
Mhm.
time ago. I was like, oh, I want to be happy, happy, happy.
Yeah.
But he explained it the same way you just did.
Okay.
Like joyful is within self,
Mhm.
regardless of whatever is happening on the external. If you can control that joy and always be joyful within yourself, the
Yeah.
stuff on the outside is not even gonna hit you like that. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So
Smart
aim
pastor.
to be joyful, not necessarily happy. Happy
Yeah.
is in moments through purchases. It's
Mhm.
very external.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy is based on what's happening.
Come on. The
Yeah.
moments.
Yes.
Okay,
So if
yes.
you if we all in this pursuit of happiness, that means we just all want these happy times. But that's not life.
It's
You know what I
not
mean? If we're
like
going to live in the fullness of our being, like life, that means
that's why you need to joy.
being enjoyable. I need the what?
No, go ahead.
Oh,
I'm just really into what you say because I'm feeling it, like
okay.
because it's making sense.
Yeah.
That's why you have to be joyful
Yes.
and enjoy because of
Enjoy
those.
inside of you. Enjoy yourself. Like when people like, hey, enjoy yourself. Enjoy your birthday. Like enjoy. That's inside of you.
Yeah,
Don't nobody say, oh, be happy. Like no, because happy is based on what's happening.
but you know what? Those small, simple distinctions sometimes they're so powerful because I just never put two and two together.
Uh-huh.
Like now, I'm putting it together. Like okay, you have to enjoy
Mm-hmm.
the internal.
Yes.
It's difficult, but majority of the time you want to keep your emotional, spiritual, inner state like that
Yeah.
because in life it's going to be valleys in life. So you
Yep.
you
Heartbeat.
want to be joyful in
Mm-hmm.
those valleys. You can be happy in spurts, but that joyfulness is needed.
Yeah.
Oh, it just clicked to me.
Yeah. It's gonna be peaks and
Oh,
valleys. You know what I mean?
right. But you
Like
got to keep that
you
joy.
got to, man. Because the world didn't give it to you. The world can't take it away.
Come on. I like that. All right.
Joy.
Mhm.
So what's up with you, SB? What you been up to?
Oh man, I just been trying to be silent and
Mm.
a lot of retrospective processing in a good way. Like my friend, if you guys watched the last podcast, my homie Tasia, she visited for the weekend and we had her on. Go check out episode 13.
14.
Excuse me. Episode 14.
Hey,
Come on,
Tasia.
and thank you for keeping track.
Yeah, because the last mishap that
What?
when I thought,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes, yes. Okay. So episode 14, but I just needed I before she visited, I was just going through some things. You know what I'm saying? So when she left, I was just able to process and sit with myself. I went to the beach. I've been wanting to go to the beach for the longest time and I just felt very renewed and rejuvenated. I'm feeling just very connected, and I'm also just very grateful for the fact that the beach is just right here for us.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Guys, we're talking about today for the most part. I don't know if you kept hearing us talking about gratitude and being grateful, but we're talking about the things that we um are thankful for the most part, and just appreciating gratitude. Because sometimes when you're going through it and you're always running, your mind is always going, or you're chasing things constantly, it's challenging to stop and just be grateful for where you are right then in the present. And I think this past week, I was just being in the present
Yeah.
and taking away some of the control that I'm used to having,
You had a
and
nice
just going with,
pause.
yeah, I had a nice pause and just was going with the flow. And I got back to doing things, simple things that I stopped doing, and I did it and I felt so good. And I'm like, why did I stop just, taking aimless strolls and
Mhm.
seeing where I end up? You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
just going to the beach and sitting and letting the wind and just looking at the water just do something for my
Oh, that
spirit.
sounds beautiful.
It felt
Yes.
so good. Like I'm still living off of that because I know that's what I needed.
Mhm.
And I was like reaching, my spirit was gravitating towards that. But I don't know. I'm just grateful for those simple, small moments, because it makes you think, or for me, it makes me think that that's what makes life worth living, you
So why do you
know?
think we stop, or let's talk about you. Why do you think you stop doing the things that make you feel so good? Like the beach is here. Everything is
I
right here.
know.
Why did have you stopped?
And I love the beach and I love water. I think apparently I was distracted, so life distractions. But I can't even pin it to you, Bridget, because the beach is right there.
Mm.
I have no idea. I think sometimes we just let life happen, and maybe there's an energy that we're already dealing with, maybe like I'm not gonna say a negative energy, but there's an energy that we're dealing with that
Mhm.
just takes us away from the things that brings us joy, which is
Yeah.
messed up, but maybe it's a lesson in it all, right?
Yeah.
So maybe I needed to. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it was, but it happened. So I'm
Well,
glad that I was I guess for lack of better words, reintroduced to doing those things, the
yeah.
things that makes me happy. Some of the things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice.
So if I can, I'll speak for myself
Mhm.
because I think there's a lot of things like the beach for me, for one, as well. I
Yeah.
love the beach. That's not something that I do often.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm gonna take you back to when I bought this car when I was living in Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
So I wanted to get a Range Rover,
Mhm.
right? Or a Mercedes Benz, just something nice and
Yeah.
luxurious. But I remember being at the car lot and I told myself, I would never forget telling myself, you haven't done anything to deserve this. And so I ended up getting a Dodge Avenger.
Okay.
And I drove this Dodge Avenger for 10 years until I just got my car last year.
Mhm.
10 years I drove this Dodge Avenger. It was because I didn't feel worthy. I didn't
Yeah.
feel like I deserved anything outside of the norm for me. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I didn't feel like I've worked hard enough. I feel like I still had so much work to do.
Imposter
The
syndrome.
whole imposter syndrome thing came up and I lived with it for a long time. And I feel the same way about not doing the things that I enjoy doing, even though I have the opportunity
Mm.
to do it, is right in front of me. It's like I punish myself for just everything that I may have done in the past. Like, you don't deserve this.
You don't deserve to go to the beach?
It's just little simple things like that. It's not. I'm not saying that I'm doing it cognitively,
Right, right, right.
but it's just like when I look at things, I'm like, dang, why don't I do that anymore?
Yeah.
Like, why don't I have a hot cup of tea at night? I know I love having tea at night, but why don't I just do these
Yeah.
things that I love doing? It's like I punish myself in just certain little ways to not be happy.
That's
It's like
the
I don't want to allow
energy.
myself to be happy
And that's the energy. I
or
couldn't
joyful.
really. Right. That's the energy that I was speaking about, that I didn't want to call it negative energy,
Mhm.
but it is, it's sometimes the energy is not good.
Yeah.
That's why we have this podcast. And
Yeah.
not to say that it's a necessarily bad thing, but it's something that you got to work through,
Yeah.
right?
You got to work at it
Yeah.
because that negative, bad energy or whatever, that's neutral. In order to do things, um, to make ourselves feel good, that takes work
That's
because
like
you have to be
kinetic
cognizant about it.
energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's
All the
true.
all the negative stuff, it's just it's
It's
neutral. It comes
yeah.
naturally. So you going to the beach, like you have to really think, like, let me do something to make me feel good. Let me do something to make me happy because happy is based on what's happening. Let me make myself happy today.
And in fact, as you said, like I'm thinking of the word negative, and you said neutral, and
Hmm.
being at it's easy to be at zero. It's easy to sit my ass on the couch
Yeah, for sure.
and not do anything. It's easy to know I need to be doing this and the third, but nah, I'm just not gonna do anything.
Yeah,
Interesting.
very
And
much
then
so.
you can do it like -10, really get into it and create a real toxic situation
Oh yeah, we
for
can take ourselves
yourself.
down a rabbit hole
Right.
of some bull.
Right. Interesting. I'm just, I'm just reading between the lines with the words and whatnot, guys, and how that just makes sense in the external.
Yeah, man.
Huh,
Words are powerful.
for real.
They really are.
Spellings, guys. Spellings.
Yes, that's why I'm really cognizant on like the words that I choose.
Yeah.
Like I for years I've been working to take the word try out of my vocabulary, can't, and things of that matter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't try, either you do or you don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
So,
one I'm working on
try to take
too.
my phone. You took it.
I did. I
You
did
didn't
it.
try to take it.
I took it.
You took it. I actually wanted
Right.
to pull it back, but I'm so slow and sluggish today.
It's
I
okay.
want to pull it back and be like, see, you didn't try to take it. You just did it. But
It still worked.
it worked, right?
It still worked because I did take it.
You did take
I
it.
did take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, words are power. The tongue is powerful. It's a whole spiritual thing out here, guys,
Yeah.
that you tap into when it comes to healing in general for ourselves, I guess. I'm gonna speak for us if that's okay.
You can speak for me. Because
Okay.
we realize we're a lot alike.
We're a lot alike, guys. We are.
Yeah.
And that's why this works though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But your longtime friend Tasia that was
Mhm.
on last week when we were talking about stress.
Yes.
Um, and she was like, you two are so much alike. I'm like, yeah, we are. She said, that's why y'all need a guest to have a third opinion, somebody
Yes.
that's not, that may give the people an alternative side of looking at things.
Right.
Because we do
Exactly.
see a lot of things the same way.
We do.
We're both nurses. We're very holistic and like really into healing and the woo silence, meditating, the
Right.
we like that cures everything.
They like to call it the new age, which is not. It's very
Yeah.
ancient, but
It's
yes,
super ancient.
It's super ancient. I
Yeah.
hate that term, but it is what it is.
Yeah, but we're a lot alike. So, um, we're open to having guests with different opinions and yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate having her as our first guest guinea pig because it did let us know. We kind of already knew, but we experiencing like, hey, we really are alike. It's
Mhm.
nice to have someone not necessarily on the opposite end, but just with a different perspective because it makes the conversation more interesting.
It does.
Yeah, it
It
does.
does.
So
I'm sure Solomon can agree because he was definitely agreeing a lot with Tasia.
show was. We had like an
I sure
episode.
was.
You show was. We had like an episode after the episode. I said, well, this another podcast right
Part
here.
2.
I went over there, jumped on the couch, and
You're
soon as we
right.
started, wait, you guys got it wrong. You're
Yeah.
not listening to what she's saying.
Right.
Tell us what part you thought we had wrong, Solomon, when we talked about stress.
Well, I think there was just a mix up in the wording between we were talking about stress and we were talking about
I agree.
anxiety,
Uh-huh.
right? And stress is a very definable thing. Stress is something that happens to you when you're in a situation where you feel like you have no control. And so the way to alleviate stress is to get control. And you get control by basically you can do it in any kind of way as long as you make a decision as to something that you're going to do. Even if the whole situation is outside of your control and you say, okay, I'm going to deal with this tomorrow, or
Mhm.
I'm going to make a phone call, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to,
Yeah.
that gives you back control, which then lowers your stress. Now, anxiety is a different thing. Anxiety is like, it's like basically seeing the world, but having a different color where you're seeing everything in a different color. It's like how you view the world. Everything is viewed from this aspect of fear and trepidation and not knowing. And that's a little bit different. And I think that's something that is solvable by what we were talking about, which is, meditation, being able to sort of reset how we see things,
Mhm.
get a clear view of it. And
Yeah.
so that was really where the difference was because yeah, stress is like really definable.
Yeah.
And we hit it off because we were like both, small business owners and everything. And so I
You and
understood,
Tasia. Yeah.
yeah, where she was coming from. So that was it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was good to be part of that conversation.
Yeah.
I think
Thanks for your input.
yes, absolutely. We genuinely appreciate that.
But me,
Just so
SB and I
grateful.
still like, yeah. Kumbaya, do a little
Right.
meditation, baby.
Right.
Set the foundation.
It
Meditation
can't
sets the
hurt. It can't
foundation.
hurt.
So I looked up the definition of stress, because we were saying it's external, which it can be, but also the definition said that it's internal. So I would definitely like to go more into stress versus anxiety because I think a lot of people get those two probably mixed up a little bit. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because I didn't think until we started talking about it really, like post show,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, like they're different,
Yeah.
but they're entangled in a sense, but it's
Yeah.
two different modalities.
Yeah. Stress. Yeah. Anxiety is like more internal. Stress is things that's happening externally
But no,
outside.
I'm sorry, I mean to
Go
cut
ahead.
you off. But
No.
no. But yes,
It comes from external factors. Anxiety
it
is
comes
just
from external
inside of you,
factors.
like you're dreading something that may or may not even happen. It's just like you're at a constant state of fear, just anxious that something bad is going to happen.
But stress can be internal as well.
Well, this ain't the stress and anxiety show.
But I do want to, on my own
Uh-huh.
time, I'm definitely gonna look into the two and do some research
Yeah.
and just, get more clarity. And then, I'm
Yeah.
gonna bring it back to the Pause and Proceed podcast.
For sure. But I think
Yeah.
everybody should have something, some type of skill set to dealing with stress and anxiety.
That part.
Have
Because
something.
if you're in a constant state of that, that's still not,
Yeah.
it can't be a good feeling.
Oh no. That, like we were
No.
saying, that causes all types of health ailments as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It
Mm-hmm.
releases a lot of the diseases that lay dormant in us anyhow.
I run from stress. And I was telling Bridget that I appreciate and I'm grateful. Going back to that word, gratitude, gratefulness. I'm
Mhm.
so grateful that Tasia was our first guest.
Mhm.
Not just because just for a different perspective's sake, but because I figured out that I sometimes run from stress.
Okay.
You know what I
And
mean?
where does that leave you?
It leaves me at a neutral position sometimes.
Mm.
It leaves me at a position of, how can I say this? Not necessarily a neutral position mentally, where it doesn't mean that I'm not confronting certain things about myself and still healing, but from an external or outside of myself aspect, like trying to get things done, I'm in a neutral spot. So, and not saying that's a bad thing, because sometimes you need to be in a neutral spot while you're getting things together up here.
Mhm.
But I think I've leaned on that. I definitely leaned on that, and I leaned on instant gratification
Mm.
because when you just want to feel good, you're gonna do whatever to feel good.
So you think
But
that holds you back from
I didn't challenge
risking?
myself. Yes, it took away that sometimes you just gotta push through.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Sometimes that's just life. Sometimes you just have to push through. And I think I not stopped, but I kind of took some steps back from having that push through mentality because I don't want to feel stress. I don't want to feel anxiety. So I'm going to do whatever I can to not. And if pushing through gives me that, then I'm not going to do it. It
Mm.
got to that point with not everything, but something. So it's just it's a balance. It's
Yeah.
a balance in that for sure because I can see how you do need to be in a neutral space sometimes. And I understand like there's a time and a place to freaking put your big girl drawers on
Okay.
and push through.
So with you having this new realization, what do you see moving forward changing for you?
I am not focused on the microcosm of things. I'm looking at things from a macro level more so. Um, and meaning I'm looking towards the future more so. I can see the future a lot better. Remember, guys, I don't know what episode that was, but I couldn't see the future at one point in
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. Remember that?
Like,
That was like one of the first 3 episodes you said that.
it
Yeah.
probably was, right. And now I can see the future a lot clearer. So I can understand, like, okay, and I know this sounds so elementary, but I had to reprogram. It's like me, it's so weird. It's kind of like, and no offense to people that actually had to learn how to walk again, but it's like me learning how to walk again.
Mm-hmm.
Because I look at some of the things that I was just doing automatically in my 20s and 30s. Now that I took this neutral position, I paused for a while. I'm learning what I used to do automatically. I'm learning the reasons of why I did it automatically now. Like sitting back and actually taking the time, like, oh, because you did this because of this, and I don't know if that made sense.
It does.
Yeah. And it's a weird space to be in, but it's enlightening. It's like I'm just learning the way versus just doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. It's a lot of stuff going on here.
Yeah. I think it's whatever works for you, like, because you're in the moment and of reflection.
Yes.
So you're connecting the dots
Mm-hmm.
and you're finding what works for you, what did work for you then, and how you can use it for yourself now.
Yeah.
So, like I said, with this newfound revelation, what
Mhm.
type of action steps do you think you can take?
Oh, I'm taking, like, what you mean? Like towards what? Just
Like, as
life?
you said, like, looking at things macro instead of
Uh-huh.
micro. So that's still like mental. That's still something mental. Like, if you was to take this lesson
Mm-hmm.
and turn it into an actionable step for you, like, how
Oh,
would you see it helping you?
so what I'm doing, I'm planning more. I'm becoming more organized. I despise being organized. Because I don't want to be a highly structured person.
Yeah.
I just don't. I like
Okay.
to live on the edge a little bit. I like some sparks of
Yes.
spontaneity
I'm
every
with you,
so
friend.
often. Right. You know what I mean? We share that.
Yes.
We
Yes.
share that. But I'm learning there's a time and a place to be spontaneous.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a time and a place to have you need a plan. You need a plan. So I'm planning and I'm actually checking off the things. I'm writing a list and I'm checking it twice.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not procrastinating as much, even though I'm still trying to get over it,
Mhm.
but
It's all in a week's time, huh?
It's weird.
That's good. It's a lot of growth.
weird. Yeah, it's very. I mean, I was doing these things before, but it's clicking more now.
Mhm.
Like something just clicked.
You connected the dots.
I did. I went
Yeah.
to the beach and it was cold, but the waves was crashing, y'all, and I just felt like Michael Jackson and Earth song. And if you know, you know. And I was just letting the breeze hit me, and it felt spiritual.
Mm.
Something clicked. Like right now, I kind of want to tear up because that's how good it felt.
Oh, go ahead.
But I'm not.
Go ahead.
Not today.
Cry.
No, you like to see crying. no. But she don't want to cry.
I project other people's crying off to myself. I'm like, oh, I feel like I've had a good cry when other people cry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're crying vicariously through me.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
No, not today, guys. But I just know that there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Before you get to the end of the tunnel, I don't think I like that term because I feel like the end of the tunnel. Goddamn.
Well, then once you get to the
That
end
is
of the
where the
tunnel,
light
you're going
comes from,
somewhere
though.
else. Say that.
What, the
That is where the
end?
light comes from. Yeah,
I
comes
guess
from the end of the tunnel.
I'm looking at it like, is that death at the end of the tunnel? But that's just the end of your dark journey. right?
It's all perspective. Yeah. Whichever way you want to see it.
But anyway,
Yeah.
I see some light.
Well, it sounds like you had such a blissful moment at the beach. I'm happy for you. That's good.
Yeah, I did.
And making some changes, some positive changes from that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm still feeling it. So I
Yeah.
know it's just not like a moment.
Yeah, it sounds magical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything's possible, guys.
It's possible.
This is going to be another one of those episodes where SB gets a hug from the producer.
Oh, thanks,
See,
Solomon.
her vulnerability.
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess you haven't given me a hug for nothing I said.
Because you got your wall up. You need to let it down now. Come on.
Coach, authenticity coach Bridgett.
No, you can't just say that and then go off a camera. Why would you say I have my wall up? I'm very vulnerable.
Look at your position. You are in, you are like therapist mode.
You're
and what are you thinking? How do you feel about this?
You're
Look at you.
vulnerable.
Yeah,
but
I get this a lot. I'm very clinical. I'm vulnerable, yet clinical.
And
Yeah.
you're very open.
Yeah.
You show your vulnerability through being very open with your life and how you feel about things.
Mhm.
But I'll be very surprised if you ever shed a tear on this podcast.
Yeah, I get this a lot. I know. It's like I can share, but I don't share from a space of vulnerability. And I understand that. That is something that I'm working on, but
yeah,
it's just actions and consequences, though. I mean, it's just simply that, that's who you are, right? So people like you, and I'm a lot like you as well, where you don't show a lot that you need people.
Yes.
And so people don't naturally react to wanting to show you, need like that. You know what I mean? But it's okay.
But you know what? And then I do have some times where I'm like, dang, when I'm going through things, I'm like, dang, I don't got nobody to talk to about it because everybody's so used to coming to me. But that's how I set it up. You know what I mean? That's how I taught people to treat me. Because I never wanted, me moving away, on my own to California. First I moved to Dallas by myself, then to California. I never wanted people to worry about me. So I always had, I felt the need to come off like I'm okay. I got it together.
That's why they don't worry.
And they don't worry.
Strong lioness Bridgett got it.
Lioness. So, it's something that I am working on because for a long time, I have equated, vulnerability to weakness. But as Brene Brown talks about, vulnerability is actually courage. Yeah. Because it takes a lot of courage to just open up and be vulnerable.
Come on, it does. Yeah. It's so underrated.
Yeah, but I do get vulnerable, but in certain settings, like when I'm coaching or when I'm being trained to coach in different settings with the Gap community, I'm extremely vulnerable. But then when I come in and conversing like on something like this or different settings, I'm very clinical. Because I want to help other people and I want them to know that you can be vulnerable with me. Yeah. So, and as a nurse, I worked in hospice for some time. So it was like, it wasn't acceptable for me to be in there crying.
It's a lot of energy you giving.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Even though I was in there crying, like, oh, she's only 47.
Aww.
Yeah. So I work on it, Solomon, okay?
You're working on it. You're already working on
Bridgett has earned a hug from the producer.
There we go.
That's all I wanted.
Cool beans. You're working on it, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, that's all that matters. But all right, y'all. So you heard it here first. Bridgett is working on her vulnerability, and we're gonna continue on being vulnerable on the Pause and Proceed podcast. Yeah. Follow us on IG. What is our IG?
Pause_proceed. You made it up.
I know. And on YouTube, Pause and Proceed podcast. Yes. Until next episode, guys. We'll see you later.
Yes. Remember to be grateful and enjoy yourself because joy is inside of you.
Amen and amen.
Love you.
Peace out.